Tanzania is on the brink. The streets are restless. The voices of the youth grow louder. And for President Samia Suluhu Hassan, the time for silence has run out. Welcome. This is Inside the Calling. What began as a disputed general election has now ignited a wave of anger and defiance. From Dar es Salaam to Arusha, from Mwanza to Mbeya, the cry is the same: respect our vote. For days now, protests have gripped major cities. Tear gas fills the air, soldiers patrol the streets, and the government's attempts to quell dissent have only deepened public outrage. The youth, once the heartbeat of Samia's promise for reform, are now the face of resistance. They believe their democracy has been stolen, and they are determined to reclaim it. Tanzania's young generation, digitally connected and politically aware, has refused to be silenced. Their protests are not merely about numbers on a tally sheet, they are about the soul of their nation. They see this election as a turning point, a moment that defines whether Tanzania continues to walk the path of democracy or slides into repression. Their message to President Samia is loud and clear: justice delayed is peace denied. When President Samia Suluhu Hassan took power, she promised dialogue, reform, and reconciliation. But along the way, those promises dimmed. Her decision to exclude major opposition voices from key electoral processes set the tone for mistrust. Her government's tight control of the media and internet restrictions during the election have drawn condemnation at home and abroad. And now, mass arrest of protest leaders, including the detention of opposition icon Tundu Lissu, have pushed the country to a boiling point. Instead of calming tensions, these actions have inflamed them. At this stage, one action stands above all others. President Samia Suluhu must order the immediate release of opposition leader Tundu Lissu. Lissu's imprisonment has become a national and international symbol of political intolerance. His freedom would not only signal goodwill, but could also reopen the path to dialogue. For many Tanzanians, Lissu represents hope, a voice for accountability, justice, and reform. By setting him free, President Samia would not be showing weakness, but leadership, the courage to choose unity over division. The growing unrest has made one thing undeniable: the credibility of the election itself is now shattered. Reports of irregularities, intimidation, and suppressed results have poisoned public trust. If calm is to return, President Samia must instruct the National Electoral Commission to nullify the announced results and begin transparent review and regional or international oversight. A fresh, verifiable process, one that includes all stakeholders, is the only way to restore faith in Tanzania's democratic institutions. Anything less will only prolong instability and deepen division. For President Samia, this is a defining moment, perhaps the most critical of her political life. She can choose to meet dissent with a dialogue or a defiance. She can choose history's respect or its rebuke. The choice is not just about her presidency, it's about the survival of Tanzania's democracy. If she releases Tundu Lissu, opens political space, and nullifies the tainted results, she could turn crisis into opportunity, restoring confidence and reuniting a fractured nation. But if she stays the course of repression, she risks plunging Tanzania into a cycle of unrest that may take years to heal. Tanzania stands at the crossroads of its destiny. In one direction, fear, force, and silence. In the other, courage, reform, and renewal. For President Samia Suluhu Hassan, the choice is clear: set Tundu Lissu free, restore the people's voice, and let the ballot, not the bullet, shape Tanzania's tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Look out for our next episode. This is Inside the Calling.